This is Mark Victor Hansen. Would you please welcome my dear friend Janet Schweitzer? Welcome aboard, Janet.
Hey there, Mark, and good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, Janet, you've got a very interesting, totally lucrative, proven income generation model. Would you mind sharing that from the get-go right now tonight?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, I've got something to talk about tonight that I know is going to knock the socks off your listeners. You know, it's actually a very unique twist on the business model that you've been teaching for a long time, Mark. That's the idea that people should get rich in their niche. And while that, believe me, that's an excellent way to make money, what I've been doing for the last 15 years, I think, is even better than that. Because over the last 15 years, I've been quietly earning a fortune getting rich in other people's niches, letting them be the expert, getting them to do most of the work, while they send me a very sweet 15% to 50% of the gross revenues of their business empire. And you know what? They're happy to pay me those kinds of fees because at the same time I'm earning them money, that they never would have had without me. I'm also helping them become the leading expert in their field. And let me tell you, that is something that a business owner can't buy at any price in this market.
It's great, but how did the multiple streams idea come into it?
Well, the good news is that as an infopreneur working on a lot of these different projects, I can have many of these different deals going on at the same time, which actually protects my income. It also provides me with multiple streams of income, but again, with my clients, largely doing all the work. And by the way, Mark, I put up a web page for all your listeners to read more about this because this is so exciting. Starting in June 14th, I'm actually going to be working with a very select group of people who want to learn how to locate these clients, and I'm going to talk about a lot more about how to locate the clients, how to lock up the rights to their expertise, and then how to market their information products, their training concepts, their successful business model, market their brand, their other intangible assets, build all of that expertise into an empire where any listener tonight could earn an ongoing percentage of the gross revenues that empire produces. That's what I'm going to be talking about tonight, but there's more information out on the website.
Now, Janet, you're a secret marketing weapon for a lot of the key players in the information business. Right. We haven't really wanted to let you get too famous, but, now that's changing, and you have a specific reason for teaching our listeners how to do what you do. Why is that?
Well, Mark, I as you let the cat out of the bag earlier, I did a very big book deal with Jack Canfield and HarperCollins late last year. We got a multi-million-dollar deal on our new book, The Success Principles, and as a result of that, I'm actually going to have to step away from the empire-building work that I've been doing over the last 15 years so that I can go become a co-author and a speaker and build the Success Principles empire with Jack. But before I walk away from this work, potentially forever, I want to leave behind a group of people, other publishing mavericks just like me, who really know how to build these empires, who can do what I do, know what I know, and market and monetize all these information sleepers out there in the marketplace that are really just waiting to be discovered and exploited. And I call them sleepers for a very specific reason. I can tell you they are everywhere. I'm going to be talking tonight about what to look for in an information sleeper, how to lock up the deal to make sure you get paid tons of money, and of course how to market that sleeper and any info products that you create for those people.
Now, how did you get started doing this so they'll know how they can do it too?
Well, way back in 1989, I was very fortunate. I went to work for a man I know your listeners have heard of. He's America's highest paid marketing consultant, Jay Abraham. And back then, I was
We've had him on.
Yeah. Back then, I was tasked not only with creating publications and training systems for Jay, but also with coordinating all the marketing implementation to make sure that those programs got sold for millions and millions of dollars. And not only did I do that for Jay, but I also did that for a lot of his client companies, too. And I learned that there are just some situations, that have a great combination of assets, customers, and some of these other criteria that I'll talk about, a great combination so that it's incredibly easy to just create cash for that business, really just with a few well-crafted marketing campaigns. Now, Jay, back in those days, was doing contingency-based marketing consulting for 25% of the net profits. But I noticed back then, it's held true all these years, that a surprising number of the companies I worked on were actually ideal for producing an information product and selling that product, at these very huge margins that I'm going to talk about to a very, very hungry audience. We did that all the time at Jay's. So I learned very early on the process, the procedures, the systems for not only creating these products but getting them sold. And in fact, I started doing this work for Jay when I was about 25 years old, so pretty early on. After my time with Jay was finished, I became sort of what I call an accidental consultant. And one of my first clients was another guy I know you've heard of, Jack Canfield. And I got to do a lot of the early work on Chicken Soup for the Soul. That was a lot of fun. But since then, I've really specialized in working with companies to build these information and publishing empires for a huge percentage of the revenue or huge fees. And here's the thing I found through this work. Every business owner, no matter what kind of business they have, whether it's bricks and mortar, a service business, intangibles, it doesn't matter. You ought to be selling a multimedia system. You ought to be speaking for fees or to get new clients through speaking. You need to be leveraging the expertise and knowledge of your key staff. That's one way to make money. You can start your own trade association. You name it. There are a lot of different profit centers. And the reason I say that every business should have something like this on the side is that because we know that regardless of what the business owner does for a living, information products have the ability to catapult them to leading expert status in their industry, faster than almost any other way. So even if you aren't interested in selling information products per se, they're an incredibly good marketing tool for your other products and services. I've always worked from my list of 52 different kinds of knowledge products that I create and market and have done for the last 15 years, any one of which, by the way, would be not only a great profit center in its own right, it would be simply a very effective marketing tool for a business or a professional practitioner. And of course, I think people usually think of books as information products, but there are actually, as we both know, Mark, many different kinds of information products that are actually a lot more lucrative than books. I mean, one of my favorites is a knowledge product called subscription consulting. That's where other business owners in your industry pay you every month for ongoing advice, ongoing ad packages, marketing tools, services, a training conference call every month maybe. I once made a professional practitioner over $1 million in 46 weeks because I helped them package up and market their particular practice management system. And I started by marketing a $5,000 weekend boot camp to fellow practitioners all over the world. And then I converted those practitioners to this ongoing subscription consulting system at $1,200 a month each. Now, that one profit center alone brought in tens of thousands of dollars a month, but what we also did is we turned those subscribers into distribution points for the practitioners' books and tapes. So all of our subscribers ended up buying tens of thousands more dollars every month in books and tapes, which they then sold or gave to their clients. And I've since replicated the same exact kind of profit center in the chiropractic field. We sometimes call this ongoing coaching, subscription consulting, but there are a few secret marketing twists that really lock in these subscribers so they don't go away, so there's no attrition or breakage. Another twist on this subscription model, by the way, is a very simple subscription audio CD of the month program, which I believe everybody on the call tonight should have. Mark, you know a guy named Mitch Carson, don't you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's coming in here next week to consult me, and then he's also on one of the future calls so that people get to hear him online.
Yeah, he's marvelous and
Before
brilliant.
Before you go to Mitch, could you just go back one statement? Would you mind telling them your subscription consulting, what industry you did? You don't have to do the company, but just the industry.
Yeah.
So they get it. Two things, Janet. One is the industry, and number two is, could they do that in a multiplicity of industries like our friend did in carpet cleaning, Joe?
Yeah, that's Joe Polish you're talking about, who's sort of the marketing guru in the carpet cleaning industry. But I actually did this in, of all things, the hypnosis industry. I mean, what an unusual industry for people to be doing work in. But it was interesting. The people I worked with were making a lot of money in their industry when everyone else was just barely scraping by. That's one of the models that I'm going to be talking about, one of the information sleepers to look for. And what was really neat is the entire universe of prospects that we had to market to was only 8,000 names. We actually rented a Yellow Pages list of other hypnotists out there. So that was the industry, and a lot of NLP practitioners, psychotherapists, other kinds of therapists, massage therapists, chiropractors. A lot of people got involved because it was such a great business model, and of course it was highly, highly lucrative for the practitioners and me as well. But one of the things, again, just another example, another twist on that, it's a lot simpler for everyone else listening tonight, is this subscription audio CD of the month program. And like I said, Mitch Carson, he's one of the world's leading experts at direct marketing. He specializes in mailing packages that have those little gifts in them. It's sometimes called dimensional mail or lumpy mail. And I actually got him to package up what he knows and sort of take it on the road as a speaker. And today, Mark, he has over 1,100 subscribers to his CD of the month program at $29.95 a month. Now, that's a fairly low price point, but when you do the math, that's almost $33,000 a month. And what's interesting, I didn't actually even think about it until later, but I should have negotiated a percentage of that deal, but I didn't. But there are deals like this out there to be made all over the map, and we'll go through some of the details on how to make those deals.
By the way, this guy does lumpy mail, as she said, to everybody. And, Christmas time, I get tons of gifts. And one of the lumpy mails that he did through another client of ours and friend who you've heard before and we'll hear again, Ron LeGrand, he sent me a whole thing on getting lobsters. And that was was a big, and he had a simulated sew-up puzzle of a lobster and say, you got free lobster meal in your future, and just pick when you want it and have it delivered.
Mm-hmm. Very successful marketing strategy.
Totally brilliant.
He's the best out there. Yeah, that's true. Like I was saying, Mitch is an example. The hypnosis people, that's an example. But there are situations like this literally everywhere. It's truly mind-boggling. But it's interesting. So many people don't even know how to package and sell information. So everyone on the call here tonight has actually,